over the last 24 years, I retired from Singapore Power as a power engineer. Now at 45, I also attended a workshop and also got myself measured, but not the artigraph, a very early version. And I was really shocked when the result came back. My T on my account of currency, I left $20 at 45, so I'm not going to last very long. So that's what made me today. So I dedicated the last 25 years to this research in vital life force. But then working with my medical doctor, with other colleagues, I also find that when someone is sick, one of the biggest problems is, do you have the time to heal yourself? Do you have the commitment to heal yourself? And do you have the money to spend to heal yourself? Anything one missing, you cannot achieve healing. That's the reason why after years of research, we created the Healing Sanctuary, which means we bring healing to the home. And of course, each center acts as a service center to guide you, to train you, to educate you. Yeah. So what, earlier, we shared the same slide. So if you look at 1970, WHO, chronic illnesses death was a mere 30%. However, by 2020, chronic illnesses death is already 80%. So what's happening to the entire system? Simply because, like what Dr. Arun was sharing, we are treating the symptoms, but then most of this is a lifestyle diseases, right? So if we do not manage the lifestyle, we will never be able to solve it. But managing the lifestyle alone requires, remember the three components. Bear in mind, for every active center, if you cannot commit time, you cannot commit money, and you cannot commit to your own lifestyle to improve, you will not be able to engage in active aging or quality aging. Right, so again, Varun have shared, Dr. Otto Robert, voltage is stored across the cell membrane. So all of us have what we call the currency capacity, known as chi or prana or ki. Now, in the bank account, we check our bank balance versus our wallet daily expenses. But when was the last time any one of you here checked your currency balance? So look at your mobile phone. At 20%, is your mobile phone working? Yes, it's perfect. At 15%, is your mobile phone working? Yes, it is still perfect. At 5%, is your mobile phone working? It is still working. That's the reason why we take no notice unless you check it regularly. Right? But unfortunately, to check regularly, again, you need time, you need commitment, you need to spend money. So most of us don't do it until we are sick. It's a bit too late. Right? So this is what happened to us. This is a further reinforcement of what Varun have shared. 70 millivolt. So you can see that at 70 millivolt, that is the technical specification. Okay. That is a technical specification of human being. So in Singapore, our voltage here is 230. So if we go to 250, everything burns out, known as inflammation. If we go down to 200, it's early degeneration or inefficiency. So you cannot detox yourself, it leads to inflammation. Right? So as we age gracefully, but sometimes we crash. So the whole idea in active aging, number one is to be able to maintain this voltage, right? So we have to maintain this capacity. Now, just like your mobile phone, every day you go back to charge. What do? We go back, we may still be working, yeah, we may be still thinking of tomorrow activity, we may still be thinking of where to make more money, we'll be still thinking of how can I be living a more perfect life. Everything burns out, right? More input, more output, better input, better output, but how much currency is used? This is the equation that's called missing. We don't check. We have keep on input software, better output, but how much is being burnt out? This is the main thing that we don't look at it at all. So you can see here, 4 steps towards clinical intervention. Now at age 0 to 30 or 1, or from Dr. Arun or from Logan, when you are conceived, you're already starting to use energy and aging, right? So age, normal and healthy, right? And by the time we live in this for a long, long time, maybe even to the 40, to the 50, right? So what happened to us here? Non-clinical imbalance. Now this is the thing that we don't check. We always check for clinical damage, pre-clinical damage called as early detection, known as prevention. But before that, there is the non-clinical imbalance. And this imbalance, according to the Chinese clock, it keeps changing until we hit the correct one. It could be a heart attack, it could be a dementia, it could be a stroke, it could be a cancer, it could be anything. Now remember, we do 20 years of medical checkup, and suddenly we have a heart attack. We do 20 years of medical checkup, suddenly we have dementia. But because we are not studying non-clinical imbalance. Right. So by then, there's a typo error there. By then, you have preclinical, which is 40 to 50. And then finally clinical, 50 and onwards. So generally, you are weakened and unhealthy. So our vision is, number one, to practice early detection of non-clinical imbalance. And this is never done. Why? Because there's no symptoms yet, right? But there are imbalance. And this imbalance keeps changing. So today we have a bit of pain and pain, tomorrow we have a bit of sleep disorder, tomorrow we have lack of focus, but it keeps changing. And again, your lifestyle keeps changing, right? So address it and restore it early through what Varun has used all the method to restore you. But most of the time we see her are already out of balance, right? So they have to dedicate to repair themselves. But here, when we are still healthy, let us dedicate to restoring your imbalance early, right? Then, after you restore it, manage it. How do you manage it? Regular, non-clinical imbalance checkup, not preclinical, right? Those you use blood, you use X-ray, you use MRI, PET scan, CT scan, right? Yeah. So, well-being living is also being introduced in real estate. Why? Because we live indoor generation 90% today. Even active aging, the patient or the elderly staying are still indoor. Yeah, but today we don't address what is the indoor wellness. Example, how do you find the light here? How do you all feel sitting here? Do you know that the light here is only about 100 lux? Which is not even enough for active aging. You need 500 lux to make us active. At 100 lux, you're actually getting very tired after sitting for 2-3 hours. Why? Your eye, like the camera, you have to open up to see. So you're actually making you tired. But at 500 lux, your iris relaxes. Because the sunlight is 10,000 lux at least. Yeah. So this is standard. This is 5 times lower than the actual lux required. So this is something that we don't look at it. Right. So we have tested Healing Sanctuary in more than 5,000 homes over 12 years, yeah, over many different countries. And we have achieved technically 100% success in managing pre-clinical imbalance. So once we manage pre-clinical imbalance, we reduce the chance of challenges as we age. Right. So one-stop solution for well-being living. So going beyond what Varun has shared, which is a service center. So some of the things that Varun have in Energia can actually be brought back home, right? Instead of you have to travel. What if you are living in India, you have to travel to Energia? What if you are living in Penang, you have to travel down to Energia? Bring it back home. Why? You spend half of the time at home. So where's a better place to heal you after work? Remember, you go back to rest, you go back to get recharged. But if the environment is wrong, you go back to leak your energy again. Right. So we are not the first in the world to detect vital life force imbalance and the vulnerability towards poor health. Right. So some of our global clients like ECMA, you know, in Malaysia is a public listed company. So such systems are installed in their head office, and then you have one of the top naturopath in Singapore under Dr. Sundadas. They have a Renew Life department, and then you have the Rapport resident. Sundaras Geopathic Clinic, and then in Auto City, and then of course we have Panasonic that we do lifetime research in air care. These are some of the property that we do. So the latest project we have completed is the Grand Mansion in Menteng, which is in Jakarta. It's a 5-star boutique hotel, right? So our job is to integrate classic tradition, modernization, innovation, complementary medical, by automating it and innovating it so that everybody can enjoy it at the comfort of in the comfort of your home. Right. Our service mainly is to detect and restore it. Right. So professional consultation, workshop, we are always free to offer any workshop you need for all the active aging center. Right. So we always start with non-clinical imbalance checking, and we have started the ESG for human. Now we are concerned about SDG, ESG, but what about human SDG, ESG? Carbon footprint, what about human credit? Yeah, for the first time we're addressing human credit, because when you get burnt out, the world get more sick, and you use up even more money, where then medicine come in. So medicine today, the word medicine is just not enough for preventive, because the fact that you cannot use drug or herbs to manage when you're healthy is meant for sick people. So the missing element is that we are not still addressing living care, we are addressing sub-care actually. Right. So education is very important, consultancy, design, yeah. So we touch on this vital area as early as possible to reduce the risk of major chronic illnesses. What are they? Usually high blood sugar, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. Well, we know cholesterol is no more a critical issue. It was a technical subject that is very much debated, right? Yeah. Then, of course, fighting the aging effect as we age. Can we age actively, gracefully? Yeah. And then, very important is the joy, the memory, mental well-being, emotional well-being, sleep. Veron can shed a lot more, right? But if the space is not treated, you can spend all the money, you still go back to a chaotic home and you cannot sleep properly, right? Then, of course, human vital life force, which is the foundation of all human beings, right? So, in very simple terms, we have developed a system, utilization and program uptake needs we train, we educate, we certify. Every center, every human being, every organization, every association to look at it from a different angle, not from the angle that you have already been looking at. Next, communication and awareness. There's a lack of communication in the world of living care. In fact, there's nothing in the world of living care. Right? Everything is looking at sub-health. Now, if you are not sub-health, then you do nothing. You wait. So all of us is not who, it's when you get into sub-health condition. It's only a matter of time, right? Then, after that, when the client or the patient or the friend understand the whole concept, they will embrace it, right? Then, for the business, you got better client retention, right? Because you don't just serve them, you bring the whole system back into the home for the whole family, not just for the elderly, right? Then, of course, for the business, increase in revenue, lower HR dependency. Why? Because of automation. Technically, 90% of our systems are fully automated into the space without you having to do anything, right? Then, because of automation, we reduce cost of operation, very low cost. Why? You don't need to train people. The system engage each and every one if you are in the space, right? Then, of course, you manage the non-clinical imbalance. Then finally, restore it as fast as you can. That's a critical thing. So in this space, we spend 90% indoors. Have we ever asked what is the air quality? No. And yes, we say we are in wellness, we are in fitness, yeah, we are in active aging, but we never even bother. Why? You only have one lung, you only have one breath. We concerned about liver detox, we concerned about all the organs, but we've forgotten the first breath to the last breath, you only have one lung, right? And there are so many parameters. And recently in Singapore, there are many families who, after renovation, they got sick because of what? Formaldehyde or volatile organic compounds. Now, we have been a long debated subject. Only now we become more aware, right? Next, as I say, we have white light, we have yellow light, we have natural light. Now, lighting is so critical. Remember what Veron have shared? The melatonin, the circadian rhythm, the full spectrum lighting. So light have to be designed properly to encourage, to embrace health care, wellness care, and well-being living, especially in active aging center. Light becomes even more critical because the vision, the ability to keep them awake and to let them sleep soundly. Right. Then, of course, water. Water is a very complex subject. Today, you have many water filters in the market, from A to Z. But if you look at nature, nature is not about this, not about that. Nature is a very comprehensive natural occurrence of multiple parameters that the body needs. Mineral, negative voltage, hexagonal, microcluster, and many others. But we're always looking at one parameter. That's why it's very difficult to create total solutions. Right. Electromagnetic, which again Dr. Arun has shared with us. Right. Today, we are sitting here, GPS, wireless technology, below your sitting could be electrical cables, everywhere, and we do not know what is happening to us. Right. Then, what is even more critical is geomagnetic, the space where you sleep, where the electromagnetic come out from Mother Earth that either charge you or dig you. Right. This is a very, very important subject that we have to do another day. For those who are interested, let Logan or Veron know. We can always conduct another session. Right. Now, these are technology we use to measure space energy. The traditional feng shui, they use what? The plate, the lopan. So they look at north, south, east, west, then they calculate your date of birth. But in engineering, we measure the total summation of the wave in a space over 1 year. Why? Because every minute, every second, every day, these waves change. So if I do not have 6 months to 1 year, I don't know what is the energy field of this space. Right. So once we have technology like this from Russia, we are able to see the total summation of the 3-factor wave. Right. So imagine today we are already in the intelligent age, but we are still practicing cultural and traditional age. However, it is not that it's not important. We have to learn from tradition and culture, and we have to improvise and update into the intelligent age of innovation and automation. Right. So the whole idea is to ensure that the wave doesn't hit us like a tsunami or like an earthquake. Now, sitting here, how do you know? Because you cannot feel it. If we can feel, we will never be sick. But unfortunately, our sensitivity is no more there, so we need that. And if you are sitting there, 1 hour ago, just like you drink a coffee, nothing may happen. Another guy, something happened very fast. Right? So everybody is different. So every space needs data, not just generic data. Right? So at the end of the day, it's a very simple 3-step. Yeah. Oh my God, purple cannot see, so change. So step 1, assess your vital life force capacity monthly. Right, just like your car. Every 2 weeks, you have to pump your petrol. Just like your mobile phone. Every day, you have to charge it up. Just like your bank account. Every month, your business or your employee have to top up. But what about us? When was the last time you check and top up your bank account known as your chi or your vital life force? We don't do that. We just work until suddenly you drop to 0. Last week, Dr. Ying, 2 of her business partners, just Kong like that, because they just run out of chi. Unfortunately, right. So step 2, restore it. So number 1 is measurable, number 2 is manageable, number 3 is sustainable. Now if you cannot measure, you cannot manage. If you do not manage, it's not sustainable. But to manage is so costly, right? So in order to manage means you have to engage lifestyle total well-being solution. And that can be only done when you embrace more than 50% in your home, in your office, in the wellness center, in the active center, in an institution, in the public space, everywhere. Because we are an indoor generation today, right? Yeah. So like what you see, or what you saw earlier, now this is someone extremely imbalanced, but not too bad like what Baron have seen. Right. Our job is, her job is to repair. When you are sick, see her. When you are not sick, see us. Our job is to ensure that you are in homeostasis. Right. So in homeostasis is what we call living care active living, active care, long before you are being shut down or COE is expired, right? So it is very important to be able to track your record. So you have 1 or 2 records, is it enough? No, you have hundreds of records, weeks after weeks, month after month. That's our job, right? So you can see that we don't use one tag, we use multiple tags. Wow, how come the light suddenly seems to dim off?
No, because cannot see the word.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm very sensitive. Okay, so in order to understand how energy works, we use multiple technology. This technology comes from Beijing University and Tsinghua. So this is very much similar to Indian classic, the auric field, the aura field, right? So as you can see, yeah, baseline in different rooms, all broken, right? Taken test with sitting on a stress field, even worse, you see, energy is being lost. But it is lost maybe 20%, so it's not going to get hurt, you're not going to feel it. And because you only sit there maybe for 1 day, and every minute you're moving, but the home, the place you sleep, is every day for the next 30 years. And the leg is like slow doping, 1% for 1 year. You won't feel it, right? And after you repair the energy, you start seeing the repairs are coming back, right? So we do a lot of research using thermography real time. Now this is a medical grade thermography that costs about 50,000. Now the challenge lies here. Everybody after learn, what do? We go Lazada, buy a thermogun, yeah, and we always look maybe for the best or the cheapest. But it is the exact specification. So you can see there are 2 thermoguns here. This is bought by one of our association, and it's too sensitive. This is the one we use. So you can see it doesn't read the background a lot, right? So we can see the body. This one you cannot see much changes. But the 2 thermoguns look almost the same. And if you look at technical spec, almost the same, right? So we spend a lot of time buying equipment and throwing it away until we find the correct one. So all you need to do is to check with us for the spec. Do not waste money trying to buy and then throw it away. Right? I'm not sure this one is working or not. Yeah. So you can see the thermogun. Right. Now we also do, interestingly, thermo on the food you eat, the water, the coffee. Now here is the coffee that took 5 years in the making, but it's actually more than 5 years. But Dr. Ying has spent her whole life looking at natural foods from Thailand. I've spent my whole life trying to drink coffee, but I can't. I throw out all the coffee I drink. Everybody knows. But after 5 years, now I can drink proper coffee. So you can see normal coffee is very, very stimulation. That's why people say I drink coffee, I cannot sleep. Right? Because you can see the heat. Now, stimulated coffee means coffee that's added with energy. So you can see the white. Balanced coffee, you can see the red. So earlier we were trying to do for everybody is to detect how evenly can I get the rate out. Of course, everybody performs differently. Some faster, some slower, some go to the brain, some go to the heart, some go to the kidney area. Yeah. So this is a classic. And you can see again, which I have most of it, which I will send to Logan or Veron to send back to all of you. You can see most of you who drink the coffee, yeah, baseline, so you can see the brew here, yeah, and then 20 minutes, 5 minutes, yeah, the brew get lesser, and 20 minutes, almost no more brew here, right, yeah. So this is how the coffee works. But again, if we base on classical comparison, we expect everybody to perform the same, but unfortunately, no, it cannot be the same, because no two human being is the same, or we all look like human beings, right? Yeah. So the type of benefit you get is increased oxygen. Why? Because as your currency improve, your body function better, your cell function better, blood circulation, that's why you see more rate, the head cognitive. That's one of it is called mental and emotional well-being. Why? Because you achieve clarity, focus, deep relaxation, and yet you are able to work when you need it. Right? Increase blood circulation. That's why your body, one of us earlier was very red, right, compared to the rest. And then once you have oxygenation and blood circulation, automatically nutrient absorption. So everything you eat within balanced diet, you have good diet. Yeah. So in my 25 years of research, I have not found a single diet that can trick anyone. Not the keto, not the Okinawa, not the Mediterranean. It is your basic country diet. Like Indian, eat the Indian way. Yeah. If I give you the Beijing food, you cannot. After a while, you get a problem. Right. But we have been trying to eat bread. Is bread our basic diet? Maybe not. Right. Rice is our basic diet. Right. So once you have all these three in place, automatically with proper space management, number 4 is the most important. Your sleep will improve. Why? Because you need to sleep to increase the production of melatonin, the natural healing, the natural detoxification. And once you have these 4 in place, automatically you are able to take up better stress level. Why? Because you now have better emotion and mental clarity. And all this will reduce ache and pain, increase strength, improve your skin texture, focus and clarity. Finally, is active performance, active aging. Right. So these are some of our activities. You can see this is what we have been doing in China. This is one of our #1 first kidney patient where he had only 3 months before his kidney failed. And he's very, very rich and successful, and he's only in his early 50s. He don't want to live life without a kidney. So he was the first recipient of the miracle energy of life. Right. Yeah. So you can see all his medical report. This is a cancer patient with only 1 kidney, and unfortunately, cancer attacked the last kidney. So when our partner from KL went to see her, she was technically bedridden. After 3 hours on the miracle of life, she wake up. And a month later, when I went to KL, she and the brother drove 3 hours from Ipoh down to meet me to have lunch. Yeah, so she's back actively, right? Yeah. So this is Dr. Najib. Dr. Najib is an expert in cardio. He's the one who bought ECCP. So anyone that needs a stent, you may want to consider ECCP first, because it's one of the best. And India is very good in that. In fact, India produced some of the best machines for ECCP. And I believe Dr. Arun can talk a lot more on that. Right. Then, of course, we have healing centers that we work with. Yeah, we have some of the most advanced system that later I'll show you. From this big system, we are able to, from that big system, now, just give me a minute. This big system costs 150,000. Today, it's in this system. Innovation. TCM taking pulse using oximeter. Right. Accuracy, 60 to 70%. If you monitor regularly, this way you are aware of your lifestyle, aware of your risk, and you correct your risk. Why? All this, you can do it and carry it with you now. Right? Yes. Yeah. All this you can carry it with you now. Right. Okay? Now that is our other training in Bangkok. So address the missing link and advance the world of well-being and active longevity. Together as a team, we can do it, we can achieve it. Now, if we keep competing, we will never be able to do it. Or we keep comparing, we will never be able to do it, because there's nothing to compare. It is time for integration, time for innovation, time for automation. So everything we know in the past, traditionally, culturally, is for us to move into the evolution stage, not stuck in the experience stage, right? So today, let's come together and build a better place for ourselves, for our friends, and for our family. Welcome to the World Natural Healing Center, right? So this is where we are getting together here today.